Hello everybody, and thank you much for watching. This is me, Mr. P. This is a review video of UPerfect X Lite. Let's begin. I've been using this lapdock, portable screen, whatever you want to call it, for about good 3-4 weeks now. And this is my short, quick video. I hope it's going to be short and quick video. My review about this unit. So first of all, let's start going by the ports. I have my notes here ready. So on the right hand side, we have USB-C for power to charge the built-in 5000 milliamps power battery. We have the mini HDMI port, which is good that it's not a micro, but is bad that it's not full-size HDMI. I'm always looking for full-size HDMI on the lapdocs, but that is fine to have a mini HDMI. Then we have USB-C to get the Galaxy device connected to actually get the Samsung DeX going. And then we have a headphone jack. The headphone jack has a logo next to it, showing you that this is combo in and out audio, but with Samsung DeX, sadly, it only works as the audio out. On the left-hand side, we have two USB Type A ports, and we have 4 buttons to control your OSD display. These two USB Type A ports will be helpful for you to read data from external memory cards, because this lapdock, this portable screen, don't have micro SD card readers, so you're going to have to use some sort of USB Type A dongle adapter to read your SD cards or micro SD cards. Next, let's talk about the speakers. And the speakers on this, I will call it portable screen with a permanently attached keyboard as a bonus, because it's just confused. I can't really call it lapdock. I can't really call it portable screen. So speakers, as I like to call them, they are notification style speakers. And what I mean by that they are fine for getting your attention when you have a new email or text messages or phone call or something like that. They're not ideal to be used to play music or listen to music, or watch videos. They are fine for notification kind of style audio, but nothing beyond that I would suggest to be they be used for. And if you want to enjoy music and videos on this kind of display, headphone jack is there for you to use it. The built-in battery, like I mentioned, is 5000 milliamps, which is, for my use, is small. It takes about 2.5 to 3 hours, sometimes 3.5 hours for me to kill this device with, let's say, average use case. And this 5000 milliamps battery that will give you this 3 hours of use, you need to make sure you use most of it, because the charging speed of this device is not ideal. According to my testing, even right now, this cable comes from the 60-watt power adapter, goes into this portable screen, and it's charging about 5 volts or 5 volts of 2.75 amps. And it feels like it takes forever to get charged. But once it's charged, you can just go with it and take it on a go and use it. But 3 hours at max, maybe 3.5, is not ideal to be a portable laptop, portable screen to be used with Samsung DeX. When it's in 3 hours, it can die. This is fine to be used for quick show and tell somewhere in a meeting, or do something very quick, something that you just forgot to do that will take 2 seconds to complete this very important task. Like, for example, subscribing to my channel, which will definitely take you just less than 2 seconds. Just press the red button, do a subscribe, and I'll give you a thumbs up. The USB Type-C port that is being used to connect my Galaxy device, in this case I'm using Fold 3, is on the right hand side, which in my use cases I would prefer this port to be on the left hand side. Same with HDMI, as when you have everything connected and you want to use, let's say, a Bluetooth mouse, all this wiring and everything will be in the way. The USB-C cable that I'm talking about is charging my phone same time. There is no option to turn the Galaxy device charging on and off, which I really like on an XDock 360. I was supposed to make a video about why this. I'm just going to put myself a reminder to make sure I do this video. Let's go back to UPerfect X Lite. So this charging my phone at the rate of, I measured this 3 times just to make sure that the numbers are correct. And it's charging my phone at 5 volts of 0.69 amps. Nice. Regardless if I'm charging this device or not charging this device, so if I'm plugged in to a power or not plugged into a power, my phone will get exactly the same charging speed. So it's basically slow charging my Galaxy device. So if I'm gonna do some heavy use, my phone will die faster probably than actual screen, or somewhere in the same time. So slow charging the actual device and slow charging my Galaxy device It's just okay for quick show and tell kind of thing, not a heavy use somewhere 3-4 hours somewhere in a coffee shop. With the keyboard is layout is okay. For my fat fingers, this layout is a bit too small. The keyboard size, I somewhere had measured it. I'm just gonna put on the screen some of the numbers. I forgot to write it down in my script. So the keyboard is too small for my use case. And looking at the keyboard layout, the keyboard looks that is designed more for Windows and Mac users, instead of being more like an Android, you know, like a mobile kind of mobile computing style, if you know what I mean. There is no home button, there is no back button, there is no notification button. Something like you would find on the Logitech K380, there is a home button, there is a multitasking button and all this stuff. On here, the keyboard looks more that is designed for Windows devices in mind, and a Samsung DeX or mobile computing is sort of being on a backseat. The most important thing that I need to mention about this keyboard that is not backlit. So if you're trying to type a very secret message somewhere in a dark room, you will not be able to use this, like see this keyboard. So no backlight. Another thing that I'm missing on this keyboard that is very useful with the other lapdocs that I tested is the shortcut to increase and decrease the volume. And this keyboard lacks that. So if I want to increase or decrease the volume coming off these notification style speakers, I need to use OSD controls on the left hand side, or just grab my phone and just reduce the volume on the phone. So keyboard lacks these kind of quick shortcuts that we as the DeX users very like to be on the keyboard. I hope that makes sense. With the keyboard as overall, I have a couple of things here mentioned as well. One thing is straight away sort of threw me in a curveball, that is the delete button is being moved to a space button, and instead of delete button we have a power button, which is okay. Once you press by accident, it does nothing, but you just why the standard keyboard layout needs to be changed just to have this power button somewhere. My suggestion would be the power button being somewhere on the side as a physical button, somewhere on the side, somewhere here on the top, but not just start rearranging the standard keyboard layout and introducing the like new buttons in different locations, if that makes sense. It took me, I would say, an hour or so to get used to this keyboard typing. Even this script that I'm looking at is being typed on this keyboard, and believe me, I was going nuts typing this on this kind of keyboard form factor. So these kind of buttons that moved around, it just annoyed me at the first. But then with a little bit of a muscle memory training, I end up knowing where the delete button is. It's still, when you use this keyboard for about an hour or so or two, and you get used to this layout, you go back to, let's say, a standard keyboard layout, and it's going to be a bit of infuriating, and you're going to have to retrain yourself. It's just leave the keyboard alone. And if you want to add extra functionality to the keyboard, just create the button somewhere else. Next thing is a trackpad, which is basically a credit card size. I was thinking if I have a credit card size, something with me. Basically, this is a Rode Wireless Go manual, and this is pretty much the same size as a credit card. So this is a credit card size. I had somewhere measured. Oh yeah, I do have right now. It's 51 millimeters by 83 millimeters. So it's around 50 millimeters this way and around 80 millimeters this way, and it is fine to be used. The surface feels a bit rougher compared to the previous or other lapdocs I use, like for example NextDock 360 or UPerfect X lapdock. It's fine, it's not a problem at all, but for my liking, it is a bit of feels a bit of rougher surface, but still no complaints with the functionality. The finger moves no problem at all, and there is obviously it does support your finger gesture inputs. One thing you're gonna need to start using and appreciating this trackpad quick, because this screen is not touch screen. So it is a bit of a downside. It does not touch screen, and it is a bit of a problematic for some of the use cases. I was using this in the past 3-4 weeks or so, and I was using this to watch Plex, watch YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, etc. And speaking about the screen, it is 14 inches matte finish, 1080p display. It does contrast as listed of 1000 to 1, brightness peaks at 300 nits. Overall, because it doesn't have the touchscreen, is still the amazing display, still an amazing screen. It's actually slightly better than other lapdogs I tested. And it's amazing to watch movies. Obviously, like I said, speakers are notification style speakers. So if you want to enjoy the rich music or something, I suggest to connect the headphones or use a Bluetooth headphones or something like that. But the screen is great, but because it's not touchscreen, some of the functionality, some of the usability was a bit of I had to adapt to the screen to be able to use it, or to adapt to this UPerfect X Lite to be able to use it, instead of basically just taking and using as I want. So as example, if I'm just disconnect everything, just to want to make sure that I demo everything. Let's say, here we go. I put this one like this. So hopefully camera can pick it up if I can move it here. So this is 90-degree angle. One thing, if I move like this, it starts to rock. It starts to rock around. So I would say, even if you go somewhere 95 degrees or something a bit more, it's just gonna go down. So while I was watching movies, I had this like that, connect my phone into the side like this, and I was basically watching Plex, watching YouTube, watching Netflix, watching Amazon Prime, etc., etc., etc. And it's all well, all good. I had the headphones plugged in, and the thing was going on the screen. But I need to go and do something quickly, or I just decided to go and grab a cup of coffee. I need to go and basically get myself ready. I can't stop the video on the screen. I need to take my phone, find the phone, get this connected. I need to turn this thing on using the power button, which is supposed to be the delete button. Here we go. This one's starting. DeX is starting. So I'm watching the video and I need to stop it. I can't do this on the screen. So I end up grabbing my phone and turning the trackpad on my phone like that. Here we go. So trackpad and then navigating to stop, which is, it's fine. It does work, but then video is playing. And by the time you grab your phone, you turn the trackpad on, etc., you paused it. It's like 5-6 seconds from the point when you wanted to pause. Then you're coming back and it's just frustrating. So I end up basically turning over, using the trackpad, stop it, then making sure it doesn't fall over, go grab a coffee or something, come back. Then, okay, let's go back and do this. And then, oh, I forgot to play it, press play. Press play, okay. Okay, now I can watch it. So this is kind of use case, was a bit of a frustrating at first. I got used to it, but it felt like I had to adapt to this device to be able to use it, instead of the device just adapting to my use cases and just work straight away. What else I have here on this, my to-do list? Oh, UPerfect X, this UPerfect X Lite came with a metal kickstand, which has a double-sided 3M tape, which you glue at the back of the screen. And it works as a kickstand when you open like this, for example. You open the kickstand and it's just not allowing screen not to fall over. But this kickstand feels like it is an afterthought to this device than actually being a feature from day one, if that makes some sense. So they just probably, what's happened is this device was about to get shipped and they thought, oh, we need to create a kickstand. So you just slap some kickstand at the back. Actually, I can't find my kickstand anymore. So this is just proves how useful that thing is. I lost it. So it doesn't exist anymore. Overall, what I think about this device, minus the keyboard and being this rocking kind of thing, the actual screen is amazing. I was enjoying watching YouTube, like I said, YouTube Plex, Amazon, all the media things on this display while connected to headphones or while streaming from my phone Bluetooth sound to the Bluetooth speakers. This screen is amazing to watch the content, but not the speakers to enjoy watching to watch the content or enjoy listening to music. Either way, the speakers are below the average, so no go. The keyboard, fine, works. You can write something here, not a super lengthy essay, because like I said, it just gives you a bit of like weird. So how do you gonna type like this? You're gonna have to do this. Oh crap. Another thing, if I open full, as you can see, hold on, let me move this stuff away. As you can see, it rocks. So to basically make it flat, I need to do like this, and then, no, let's go back. Okay, is it flat? No, let's go. Because the hinges on this are very, very, very good. They're really strong. First time when I was trying to open it, I felt that I'm about to break this thing. This is how strong the hinges are. But overall, this is like flat thing. And now I can navigate. I open this. There is no right mouse button click or stuff that I'm used to using Logitech K380 keyboard. But it does work. It does work. So overall, it's a great portable display. It's an amazing portable display with attached keyboard as extra features. Extra feature. I would call this as a portable display instead of being a lapdock. And while I was trying to figure out what I want to say in this video as for this product review, I was thinking what kind of use cases I want, like this device can be used with or in the future. And one thing I thought, why not create this as a mounting or create a 3D printable mount for this screen that I will be able to mount anywhere basically. What I mean by that, I can stick this on the side of the fridge somewhere, like you stick on the side of the fridge, and in the morning, me and my missus can connect the phone and then do the things, or connect the Raspberry Pi. By the way, you can use Raspberry Pi with this device, and why I'm mentioning Raspberry Pi is that the UPerfect X asked me to mention that in the video. They said that this could be a very useful thing for Raspberry Pi owners. And yes, you can basically power the Raspberry Pi off the USB Type-A port, or you can power the Raspberry Pi off the same port that you connect to Galaxy device. But the problem I found, and it is very weird, that UPerfect X team explaining to me that this works with the Raspberry Pi, but when I connected my Raspberry Pi 0, my Raspberry Pi 02, Raspberry Pi 3, or Raspberry Pi 4, all these 4 models that I own, they all eventually started to show up a yellow lightning bolt icon in the top right hand corner. If you don't know what this icon means, quick TLDR, that is indication to you from Raspberry Pi telling you that Raspberry Pi is not getting enough power. It's basically under voltage, or it just the power that comes to the Raspberry Pi is not enough to run Raspberry Pi at full capacity. So when I connected my Raspberry Pi 4, I saw straight away lightning bolt. So I thought, okay, Raspberry Pi 4 is a beefy, the most recent Raspberry Pi model, and it's for 8 gigabytes. And I had this overclocked to 2.1 gigahertz. So I thought, oh great, this is not powerful enough to push the Raspberry Pi 4. So then I connected one of these. This is the Raspberry Pi 02W. I connected one of these, and even this little toaster thing started to show a lightning bolt, which means to me, or tells me, that this display is not powerful enough even to charge or supply enough power to Raspberry Pi 0, which is, according to online reviews, is the most power efficient Raspberry Pi ever. So it is a bit of a confusion happening between UPerfect X and what I tested, but yeah, you can use a Raspberry Pi with it. And I'm planning to, like I said, create some sort of a 3D printing mounting kind of thing, and just use this somewhere, like maybe design some sort of a VESA mount for the monitor arm. Even this, I think this Rode mic boom arm could be probably strong enough to hold. This can be basically like that, attached permanently at the back of this. Obviously take this Rode mic USB mic off, and this can be my, I want to monitor, I can move it here. I want to monitor, I can move it there. Might be a good video about this, or maybe do the design live stream. Oh, I closed it. Another thing reminds me. When you close it, the keyboard goes basically slam crashing into the screen like this. I'm not saying that the keyboard will break the screen, but it doesn't really gives me a bit of a confidence that one day maybe the screen will actually get broken, or the whatever underneath the glass will start bleeding and start showing you a damage. Anyway, UPerfect X Lite, portable screen with permanent attached keyboard as a bonus. I've been using this for 3-4 weeks. It's okay device. It's not the best device for Samsung DeX users, and it's not the worst device for Samsung DeX users. Minus thing, that is not a touch screen. Bonus thing, the screen is an amazing, and the keyboard, like I said, is there for as extra feature for you to just click around. Anyway, I can see already that video is much longer than I expected. That's it. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this scripted, unscripted video. I decided to rewrite the script in the third. Okay, I'll make sure that I'll talk everything point by point, and I still went off rail. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like videos about Samsung DeX. That's what I do here. Samsung DeX became a hobby of mine about 2-3 years ago, since Galaxy S8 Plus, and I'm still doing this. So thank you very much, UPerfect X, for sending me this unit. I probably was supposed to mention a disclaimer in the beginning of the video, but they basically gave me no instructions what to say in this video, apart of just mentioning the Raspberry Pi compatibility. Can't even speak today. So that's it. UPerfect X. Like I said, I will start trying to design some sort of a mounting thing. If you want to see that, let me know in the comment section below. Once I will design that, I will definitely post this on the Thingiverse, free to use, open source kind of thing for everyone to download if you are owner of this lapdock, portable screen, etc. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I already mentioned to you that you need to subscribe. Don't forget, if you have any questions about Samsung DeX, we have Samsung DeX subreddit group. You'll find the link in the description below. We have 17,000 members? How many we are? Let me quickly check. Let's go into reddit.com/r/Samsung DeX. We are 17.9 thousand members, so almost 18,000. How many? How many to 18,000? 130 people. And this is going to be 18,000. And thank everyone who joined this group. Thank everybody who subscribed to my channel. Anyway, it's already 25 minutes of me talking nonsense, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.